CA engines, then we have supercharging, then we have performance. Remaining part will be the theoretical part. Okay, and our paper will consist of 50% of the theoretical of the problems. Okay.
Sir, if you don't mind, can you please repeat, sir?
Oh, introduction of IC engines, two-stroke engine, and SI engines, spark ignition engines, compression ignition engines, supercharging of IC engines, pollutant emissions from IC engines, performance of IC engines. And in this actually, two-stroke engines will have a problems, and CA engines will have a numerical problems, and supercharging will have a numerical problems, and performance of IC engines will have a numerical problems. The paper will be consisting of 50% of theoretical and 50% of the problems. Okay, remaining questions actually where we have is performance problems. I will send you by tomorrow evening, and solutions will be posted today evening. Okay. Any doubts? Any clarifications? Okay. Next week completely I am giving you free for 3 classes. You can prepare for the examinations. 7th we have exam. Okay. Today and tomorrow we'll finish off our performance chapters. Okay, today we'll discuss about the heat balance sheet, heat balance of the sheet of the engine. Basically, if you want to have the heat balance of the engine, okay, balancing of the spark ignition engine and balancing of the compression ignition engines, we are going to talk today. How we are going to balance the engine and what are the losses we are going to have particularly, and how the losses will be reduced by using of these things. Basically, first of all, we are knowing what are the different losses will be available for an SI engine and CA engines, and where we are going to have because you are seeing the actual performance is very less. Energy supplied to an engine is the heat value of a fuel consumed. Because we are talking about the spark ignition engine and compression engine, always we will have the heat energy will be converted to the mechanical work. That is a major point. And as the has been repeatedly pointed out, only a part of this energy is transformed into useful work. If you see the SI engine and CA engine, the performance of the engine or the energy will be having only 30% of the useful work will be there. The remaining all are the losses because it's a heat engine. And if you take diesel engines also, it may be having 35% or 30% of the only efficiency we are going to see. Remaining other are the ideal losses we will be seeing it. Particularly if you see this, the two main parts of the heat not available for the work are the heat carried away by exhaust gases and the cooling. Basically, around the engine, we are going to have a cooling system, and we are going to have whatever the fuel we are going to send it. If it is a petrol engine, we are going to send the mixture of the fuel, air and fuel mixture will be sending inside the engine, and where combustion will be taking place. At the end of the combustion stroke, we are giving the spark. But only 50% of the fuel will be burnt, and remaining 50% will goes to the unburned hydrocarbons, CO, COX, NO, SOX, and soot formation. A lot of things will be there that will be added to the exhaust gases and going out. Basically, around the engine also, we are going to provide the cooling system, and we are going to see this. If you have the analysis, if you see the first spark ignition engine, we are going to see the useful work will be only 27 or 28%. Only useful work we will be seeing here, and cooling losses will be having 20%. Generally, we will take as 20-25% of the cooling losses will be there, and the 25%, 20 to 25% of the exhaust gases losses will be there. Then we have unaccounted losses. This will be having unburned hydrocarbons and a lot of things will be there. Then we have a friction losses also to be added here, because this will be again 25%. And all cooling losses is 20%, and exhaust losses is 20%, 40%. And you are going to have this another unaccounted losses will be 20%. Here we are almost exactly 60% of 60%, more than 60% of will be going and waste, and the useful output will be getting only 30-35% will be going to get for the useful output for every stroke of the engine, every combustion of the engine. If it is a 4-stroke cycle, 2 revolutions of the crankshaft is there in 1 power stroke. If it is a 2-stroke engine, every stroke will have a power. Okay, this is about the spark ignition engine, because these are the different losses. Whenever you are doing the heat balance test of the experiment, you are running the engine, and you are taking the waiting for the steady state conditions. If you run the engine for 15 to 20 minutes and there is no fluctuations in the speed, there is no fluctuations in the load, there is no fluctuations in the speed, and there is no fluctuations in the fuel supply, and you are saying that your engine will be in a steady state condition. If the engine is steady state condition, you are going to draw the heat balance sheet of the engine. Running the engine at a particular load, if you can make the engine to a off-load conditions, or you can full load conditions, you can take the readings of the temperatures of the exhaust inlet and outlet, coolant inlet and coolant outlet. Then you can take the other losses, where unaccounted losses also you can take it, and useful output also can take it, and doing the calculations. And we told that friction losses, unaccounted losses will be taking as 20%, and exhaust losses will be 20 to 25%, and cooling losses will be depends upon the engine. We are going to take the range of the cooling losses, range of the exhaust losses will be 20 to 25%, and unaccounted losses also 20 to 25%, or sometimes it may be happening to 30% also. Depends upon the engine condition, and it's a new engine or a old engine. Depends upon the engine condition, how the environment also gives. If the oxygen percentage is good, and losses will be unaccounted losses will be less. This is about the spark ignition engine. If you go to the heat balance sheet of a typical combustion ignition engine, diesel engine, and here if you see the graph of energy input to the engine speed in a SI engine, and heat balance diagram, we are going to see this energy input in percentage, and we are going to see the power output. And if you see this power output will be denoted to 0 to 100, and 0 to 100 is denoted energy output. If you see this useful output will be coming from 0 to 30 to 35% only, and the remaining other will be the losses only. Same here also will be the same. If you make the balance sheet of the engine, we are going to get the cooling losses around the engine, because it's an heat engine. Around the engine where cooling will be provided, still you have a losses. I told you already, if you ECU control and all, depends upon the load and speed, we are going to monitor the fuel supply to the engine. Then you may be having little bit reduction of the cooling losses in the new engines. This is the coolant losses. Again, here also will be having 25%, and you have exhaust losses also will be having 25%, and you are going to have unaccounted losses also will be more, because here fuel and heat will be injected inside, and combustion will be taking place. Here also we are going to get a lot of losses. In this, unaccounted losses will be counted as the friction losses also, and exhaust losses will be the more in particularly in diesel engines, and cooling also will be having, because a diesel engine will be having more temperatures than the petrol engine, because here in a 4-stroke cycle, revolution of the crankshaft also twice in a 4-stroke cycle, and we are going to get it. And this is about the heat balance sheet of the SI engine and CE engine. You will be knowing it because what is the useful output and how the losses will be going out. Then you are parallel, you are doing the performance test and heat balance test in your laboratory. In laboratory conditions also will be having the same. You are taking the frictional horsepower will be 2.5 or 25% you are going to take, and you're adding it and going to get it. And if you want to exactly knowing of the engine, you can conduct the Morse test and motoring test, and you can know the engine. Running the engine at full load and full speed and cutting the fuel and knowing the how much it will be coming back to the original position of the engine, that will be taking the stopwatch and finding out the, that is called the motoring test you are going to do, and retardation test you can do it and find out the frictional horsepower of any diesel engine or petrol engine. Running the engine at full load and full speed and cutting the fuel and seeing that engine will be coming to the rest position, how much time it will take to have it. That's how you can know the these things. And if you say engine is in center, and how the fuel and air will be going to the engine, how the exhaust gases will be going out, how the cooling water losses, and we have a lubricating also will be counted as the unaccounted losses. Lubricating oil also will have a heating up and getting up some losses. Lubricating oil losses, a crankcase ventilation, or a crankcase and wall radiation will be there. And around the cylinder, we have a cylinder liner and all, and piston will be moving from always TDC to BDC position. There also we are going to get some losses will be happening it up because of the piston will be moving to top dead center to the bottom dead center, and we are going to see it. And okay, here the heat balance may be external or internal. Typical external heat balances is shown in figure. Typically, how the exposure will be there to the engine, and how the radiation losses and exhaust gas losses and coolant losses and lubricating losses and crankcase losses. We are going to see the different types of losses we are calculating and finding of the engine, and this will be making up a balance sheet of the engine. And usually the amount of heat carried by lubricating oil is comparatively small and are normally not included. A further method of representing the heat balance is by means of a Sankey diagram. And Sankey diagram will have the, this is the stream type of diagram in which the width of the stem represents the heat quality being represented. A percentage of heat supplied as shown the engine. And if you see this engine, and coolant will be showing it as 35%, and exhaust will be 33%, and the surrounding will be 12%. It is exposed to the atmosphere. Atmosphere losses will be the 80%, and 32% only we are going to have. It is fuel 100% Sankey diagram. It gives brake power will be having 20% only. It may be observed that the diagram starts at the bottom with a stream width which represents the heat input from the fuel, which is 100% of the heat input and is marked as such. And moving up the diagram, first the coolant loss stem is left off to the left. The worth of the stem stream represents the percentage loss on the coolant. Still higher the exhaust loss stream is left off to the left, and finally loss to the surrounding appears. Basically, once if you starting the engine will be cooled and the combustion will be proper. If you go on running the engine hours together, you're going to get more heat is liberated, and because of cooling system also will help you, because previously you used to have the water cooling system, now we have a coolant is there, and because of the coolant also we have temperatures are very high. Previously water temperature is only 100 degrees. Now coolant temperatures are increasing more and more, and present engines the cooling system is very good and exhaust system is very good, and we are going to get supercharging and turbocharging will be there, and a lot of methods will be improved to bring the efficiency is normal, and efficiency will be now presently we are getting more than 50 to 60% of efficiency we are going to get. The loss stream finally meet a single loss stream shown of the original vertical stream. Only the brake power output stream is left at the top of the diagram. The figures of the diagram are present percentages of the heat supplied in the field. The Sankey diagram is one of the graphical representation of the engine, but going of the exact position of the engine. And anyhow, we have a practically we are seeing it in laboratory. You may be having in the third year lab, and heat balance also will be there. So knowing the values of the cooling system, radiation losses, cooling losses, and useful output, and you are going to get unaccounted losses and friction losses also will be added, and knowing of the exact losses of an engine. And a more detailed diagram for the spark ignition engine is shown in the figure. And this is the case. Actually, the heat distribution is much more involved, because any engine, either a spark ignition as a compression ignition engine, around the cylinder cooling system will be provided. Still, the cooling system, if you cool it more, also engine may not start, because the cooling system always maintains the internal temperature to getting of the good combustion. That's why always your concentration will be around the cylinder. More cooling also very dangerous, more heating also very dangerous. And these two things will be compensated by providing the around the cylinder some temperature should be maintained for getting of the combustion. During the suction or scavenging period, the entering the fresh charge receives heat from the residual gases and from the cylinder walls. During the suction or scavenging and period, the entering the fresh charge receives heat from the residual gases and from the cylinder walls. And whenever the air is entering it in suction stroke, and that air will be carries the temperature to the ground, piston will be moving from TDC to BDC position. Then exactly we are pushing the piston from BDC to TDC, and that time two walls will be closed, and already around the cylinder walls we have some temperature will be there, and the previous exhaust gases will be there, and this will be mixing with fresh charge and getting of the combustion. That will only telling about the during the suction or scavenging period, the entering of fresh charge receives the heat from the residual gases from the cylinder walls. For that also we are going to get the combustion, because that's why whenever we are going to have a fresh charge entering it, the fresh charge will have more oxygen content, and getting of the combustion is very complete, and complete combustion will be happening it because part of the indicated work on the pistons is transformed through the friction into heat, which goes mostly into the cooling medium, but partly into the exhaust gases, and lubricating oil, and also will be dissipated through this crankcase to the surrounding airs. Basically, whenever the piston is moving up and down, we have a compression rings and oil rings, and oil rings and compression rings will help you to take the lubricating oil to the top and getting it to the, because that's why two lubricating oils also will be heated up, because heat will be carried out and carried, and heat will be supplied to the crankcase oil, and that also will have leads to the because the more thick of oil will be making as thin because of the temperature and all, that also will be lubrication system, and all will be little these things. Lubrication will be there, but lubrication oils will temperature also will be mounted less to the engine. And these are the different performance maps for critical analysis of the performance of an IC engine under all conditions of load and speed shown by the engine. And we have the SI engine. If you take SI engine, you have a constant speed test. Can I reduce the basic specific fuel consumption is obtained by moving upwards along the constant speed line, mixture and enrichment, and high load more than the offsets, increasing the mechanical efficiency. Moving lower brake mean effective pressures, the basic specific fuel consumption increases because of the reduced mechanical efficiency. Because if you have a lot of methods will be there improving of the engine performance, and by using of supercharger, turbocharger, and a lot of things we are adapting it, but still we have to take the precautions to designing of the engine. And constant BMP line also moving from the region of higher efficiency along a line of a constant brake mean effective pressure, the basic specific increases due to the increased friction at higher piston speeds. If you have a more speed, if you have more speed, more operations will be taking place, because piston speed will be increasing because of the higher acceleration, and you are going to move it very fast. You left towards the lower piston speed, although friction MEP decreases, indicated efficiency falls of owing in a owing to poor fuel distribution and increased heat losses. There is a constant brake mean effective pressure line. We are taking it to the bottom of this, and we are going to have a lot of things will be happening it because of the higher speeds. And CI engines, And in the CI engine, the brake specific fuel consumption increases at higher loads owing to the increased fuel waste stock and associated with the high fuel air ratios. At lower load, brake specific fuel consumption increases due to decrease in mechanical efficiency, same as the SI engine. Because in CI engine and SI engine, and in this aspect, brake specific fuel consumption, and an interesting feature of the performance occurs is that they show the power at maximum economy is about the half of the maximum power. And this is the general performance map of a automotive SI engine by using a Sankey diagram. Brake mean effective pressure in bars, and you have a piston speed, and you have a performance map of a four-stroke three-chamber diesel engines. Because if by seeing these two graphs, theoretical graphs, we are knowing about the steam cycle, HS chart, enthalpy, entropy chart we are going to see, and pressure versus pressure volume diagrams also you can see in the steam cycles. Similarly, you have a theoretical performance charts will be available from Sankey. Are going to have the same method of drawing the diagrams. And if you see this four-stroke pre-chamber diesel engine, and you can see the performance map of a automotive SI engines. Different throttle openings also you can given the diagram like a lines where you can have a moisture content in the steam. They're going to have these diagrams, and X value will be knowing it.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Huh? Hello? Okay, here I'm stopping. Actually, here I'm stopping. Okay, I don't want to load more you because the examination is there now.
Yes, sir.
That's why you can prepare it. And tomorrow also I'm leaving you. And next week also will be free for 3 periods. Okay. We'll meet after examination. If any clarification is required, you can ask me in our class time. I will explain you regarding these chapters. Hello.
Okay. Okay.
Any doubts, any clarifications, you can have tomorrow also, and previous next classes also. Okay.
Okay.
If it is if time is required, you can. I will leave the 3 classes next week also, because we are already having the syllabus and all. Okay. Any clarifications, any regarding this your mid examinations and all, you can put me WhatsApp. I can take the class. Okay. I will give the clarifications. If you have any doubts, specific doubts and all, you just give me the in WhatsApp. I will clarify it. Okay. While you are reading. Any doubts today's class?
No, sir.